I had started streaming, but then I didn't hit the go live the go live button. So, hey, here we are. I'm here now. So I'm not feeling well. So I'm not going out. So here I am sitting in front of the computer, and I figured what I'd do was do a live, and I'd check out a video or two. And the first one that I picked out is about snake aversion training for dogs. Had a guy that I work with. He has a golden retriever, or not a golden, it's a lab, a yellow lab. And he was out walking. He was PTing. This is about a year ago. He's out walking, and his dog's walking with him. And in this track, in the center of the track, it's kind of grown up. It's the way a longleaf pine ecosystem's supposed to look. It's prairie, it's waist high grass, and trees dappled through there inside of this mile track. And this dog wandered off in there and ended up coming back to the trail. And when it got back to the trail, it started acting like it was going to throw up. It started slobbering everywhere, and it laid down, and there was a big old knot that was coming up on the dog's face. And the gentleman realized that his dog had been envenomated. So he loaded the dog up, took it to the vet, and sure enough, in our area, we have the eastern diamondback rattlesnake, and that's what the veterinarian said, tagged him based upon the distance between the fangs, that it was a decent size eastern diamondback rattlesnake that tagged his dog. So anyway, ended up, that cost him a lot of money. And I remember back in the 80s reading about, they called it snake proofing your dogs. And apparently, one of the videos that we watched on the first live I ever did, we were watching some videos that Jason Clark did over in Georgia. Jason Clark is a herpetologist in Georgia, and he does a lot of going and getting snakes out of residences and education. He does outreach. He educates the law enforcement officers that will deal with these animals out in the woods. He also does just community outreach where he goes and talks to schools and stuff like that. I did not realize until I went to his channel, I said, well, if I'm going to do a live, I need something to be kind of riffing, that, something that turns the wheels in the head and lets me riff on it. I happen to know a little something about snakes. So I said, I'll watch this. And then, so I'm going through and I'm looking at some of the videos that I can find. And I said, ooh, in snake school, he's got training dogs for snake aversion. Snake aversion training. Well, I'm going to have to put my eyes on to read this dang thing. I'm showing my age. Snake aversion training put to the test. So apparently this is somebody that had their dog snake averted, trained, and the dog apparently went past the test. So let's take a look at this video.
All of a sudden, we both heard a rattlesnake rattle. I couldn't believe it that 10 o'clock that morning, Huck had snake aversion training, and 7 o'clock that evening, it was put to good use.
Damn. 9 hours later. She must have took him out
I'm
of the woods.
JD Ager. I own a German short-haired pointer named Huck. Huck is a field trial dog. He participates in field trials. Huck has a fabulous pedigree. Yes, he has shown great promise so far. He's already a field champion. He got that done while he was still 2 years old.
Good looking dog.
So he frequently participates in all age stakes at field trials. He's traveled all over the country training and participating in field trials. And in October, he's headed to the German Short-Haired Pointer Club of America National Field Trial in Eureka, Kansas, where he will compete for the third time. We're very proud of him. He has, I got blue ribbons galore, trophies. He's an exceptional dog. I think everybody agrees that Huck has great potential, a great future. So therefore, the snake aversion training was just a no-brainer for me. So I scheduled class with Jason Clark last Saturday, and I was very impressed. Jason has done this many times. Huck just aced it really quick. I understand it from Jason. His training is that the dog will associate aversion to snakes because of the smell of each individual species endemic here to this part of Georgia, as well as just not even being in their presence whatsoever. I was impressed with how it got done. It didn't take any time at all. I had to travel about an hour and a half. I would have traveled much further than that if that's what it took. I thought the price was just a bargain. My appointment was at 10 o'clock, and I, like I say, hour and a half travel time, came on home. The dog, we had a good afternoon. He needs a lot of outside time, a lot of breaks. The German short-haired pointer is just full of energy, especially young ones, but it's hot and it's humid, you know, so I can't let him be outside too long. And when he is outside, I always give him a good drink of water before he comes in, which he appreciates. And he has water troughs placed around our property, but he still likes that. You know, I've made a monster out of him. He thinks the best water comes out of that water faucet. So about 7 o'clock on Saturday evening, my dog and I both had come out the door, and he ran around a little bit, and I said, okay, it's time to come back in. So I came around to the place where I'm at right now, and I reached down to pick up the water hose, and I was going to get it running good and cold. And so Huck came around behind me, and I'm right here, and I got the water going on shower. And all of a sudden, we both heard a rattlesnake rattle. And right here,
horridus,
right here,
Adamanthius horridus,
was lying. But the body of the snake, I can tell you, was as thick as my forearm. At that point, I'm over here, and Huck is closest to the snake. Huck jumped at least 4 feet high. And the reason why I know he jumped at least 4 feet high from this was because he hit this hummingbird feeder. And he came down in this planter, and that's where his front feet landed. And then he exited in the opposite direction of the snake. Of course, you can imagine, I've thrown the water hose down. I'm backing up as fast as I can. The snake's out here on the front porch. And when I come back out, I see the snake just moving slowly right off the porch. I couldn't believe it that 10 o'clock that morning, Huck has snake aversion training, and 7 o'clock that evening, it was put to good use. And clearly, he exhibited total fear and a strong desire to get away from that snake just as fast as possible.
That's
I
awesome.
sent Jason Clark a text and said, "You're just not going to believe this." Huck's snake aversion training was put to excellent use, and so I just couldn't be more pleased. I'm so grateful that I did it. Aversion is the operative word there, man. I mean, if the dog can leap 4 feet in the air to get away, that's my definition of aversion. You know,
yeah.
he wanted away from it as quickly as possible, and he associated, I'm sure, when he picked up the smell. But the rattling is what got us both going, you know. And you just don't expect to have a large timber rattler on the stone floor of your front porch. You know, you're on red alert when you're out in the field, but on your own porch, you just, you know, you let your guard down. I think I've learned that now. Now before I let my dog out the front door, fortunately the door is mostly glass. So I do an inspection of the front porch before I let him out, you know.
There you go. If you live in their area.
Why is everyone using Ninja Transfer?
All right, that was cool. That was cool. Now, like I said, back in the 80s, they were doing snake aversion training. They were using shock collars, and the dog would go by, and if the dog showed any interest in a snake, you'd shock him. And every time he got to where you wanted him going out there, getting by the snake, smelling it, and just going the other way. Aversion, just like she's talking about. So I'm glad to see that Jason offers this service in Georgia. And when I need to, I'm gonna send him a message and ask him. Are they using a shock collar? How many times does it typically take for them to realize a different smell? It sounds like Jason's using different species that are local to that area, so the dog kind of knows what all these different snakes might smell like, because they don't all smell the exact same to a dog. You know, a dog's olfactory sense is freaking out there. They can smell stuff that we can't even conceive. You know, they look at, they're getting a picture with their nose when they're doing all that sniffing. So, yeah, I'm real interested in finding out more about that training, and I want to get Jason on my podcast on getting 10-8, because Jason has a background. In his background, he was in law enforcement, so he'd be great. And he's still got a lieutenant badge for a game and fish. I think it's for a game and fish, because that they anytime they've got to deal with snakes, he's had to go get snakes out of hoarders' houses. And when I say he's getting venomous snakes that are exotics. He was getting cobras and he was getting all kind of snakes that aren't native to this area. He's a great herpetologist and a good friend to have on speed dial. If I've ever got a question, I know I can shoot it over there to him. So, but I told y'all that this morning I had the latest episode for Getting 10-8 that dropped. And yes, I'd love for y'all to go watch the podcast, but if you don't, I do want to show you one story that was in there, because this thing was just... Now, you got to keep in mind, I'm a medic. I've got that morbid, twisted sense of humor. So here's the episode. Let me see if I can.
If tuna is one of the healthiest and leanest protein you can eat, then why are we eating more of it? We'll tell you exactly why.
Yep. All right. So let me tell you who we've got right here. Right here in this window is Richard Chapman. Richard Chapman was a paramedic for Gulfport Fire Department, ran on the rescue truck. And when he got off from his shift with Gulfport Fire Department, a lot of times he was working with us at Mobile Medic Ambulance Service, which is where I worked. I was a little baby EMT. I was an EMT ambulance back then. And he was one of the big boys. He was the paramedic. Down here in the lower window below my character there is Mike Stanton. He also was... Come on, Mike, get back. Okay. He also... Hold on, let me get hold of this little clicker here. There you go. Mikey was also with the Gulfport Fire Department. He was also a fire medic. He was a supervisor. He had a white stripe on his trousers where I had that powder blue stripe, and he had the white shirt where I had the powder blue shirt. And then over here is Scott St. Germain. Scott's a good buddy of mine. We've gone and looked at boats together and got along. And let me see. Here. Oh yeah. He did tell me he ran into you. He said he got recognized, Glenn. I said, yeah. I said, well, you're infamous. You aren't famous. You're infamous, Mike. Yes, Mike Pontius did tell me that he ran into you down on the coast and you recognized him. That was cool. So these two guys, Glenn, are like I said, they were paramedics when I was just a little bitty baby EMT, and they've got some great stories. And this one story that I really want to show y'all is right in here somewhere. Let's see.
I swore then, I said, I've had one helicopter ride and I'll never take another.
Oh yeah, here it comes.
But
yeah. That must have been when Gulfport shut down helicopter service for paramedics on the coast. We didn't have paramedic air service.
Oh no, this is just an ad hoc thing.
Yeah, I know. I was kidding. Yeah.
And when the skids hit the ground, I couldn't get out of that thing fast. And of course, we were all sick from fumes. And so we were all sick anyway. But the way he flew that thing, I could not wait to get out of it.
What they're talking about, Glenn, is when Plastifax blew up, the chemical plant down there in the 80s, and it blew up. Richard and Mike were both on that call, and Richard ended up getting a patient, and they were sharing SCBA air with him. Well, they all ran out of air, so they just start going upwind to get him fresh air. Well, they end up away from everybody from the scene, and there was a helicopter that landed and picked them up. It was a military helicopter, so picked them up and took them to the hospital. So that's what he's talking about. This next story is coming out. Mike's going to bring it up here in just a second.
Of it. And
Yeah.
Did he do Nap of the Earth?
no, he went high, but when he landed, we went to the old Gulf Coast community. And when he came in sideways, and I'm sitting in one of them little seat on the side where your feet are hanging outside.
Right.
We're sliding down towards the earth at a very rapid rate, and I thought we're going to slam into the ground. And
he feathered it back.
he overshot the runway, the little pad, and right before we hit the ground, he applied power, and we stopped just in a hover at about 10 feet. And I'm looking at the Gulf of Mexico, and then he spun it on its axis just like that quick.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the hospital, and then he sidewalked it over and set it on the pad. And when those skids hit the ground, my feet were about a half a second behind them. I couldn't drop it down fast enough.
All right.
Lord of mercy.
That's great.
All right, here
And I
comes
swore
that
then
other
I'd never
story.
fly another helicopter.
But he
Only-
did.
I did.
And he
yeah.
talks about that story later.
One more. Never.
Rob,
Here
Yes,
you go. Here comes the story.
Rob, a while ago you mentioned White Harbor
Mm-hmm.
and White Harbor 90. And back in the day, whenever all of the ambulances were busy, you just had one ambulance left,
Mhm.
and that's where you went because that
Yep,
was
yep.
pretty much central from the Bees Road to the state line. So that was
You were covering
most logical
everything.
place to put one single ambulance. Yeah, he had it all. And that night, John Knight and I were on the unit, and Biloxi jail fire broke out. And so, we responded over there. It took us forever and ever. Of course, that was AMSUR's area,
Yeah, yeah.
but they needed help because there were 29 victims of the
Right.
fire. And they were, they had the fire out by the time we got there, and they were trying to locate, and figure out who was injured, who was dead, and all. And there was water, of course, on a slick, medium gray concrete floor, had about an inch of water on it. And so we would just take the bodies and hydroplane them out through the front door.
This is a person. He lived a life, and you're going to push his body down a water slide because what? It's more convenient?
Yes, yeah.
Have y'all?
Rapid
Yeah, that
transport.
was,
That's rapid
that's one of
transport.
That is rapid transport. for
That-
sure.
have y'all
it's
seen-
taking 29 lives? and
I've
they
heard
had,
this story from Lou Blomberg about Lou Blomberg was there with you guys. You remember him? He was Biloxi. He was Biloxi
Yeah, I
PD at the
remember.
time, and he ended up working with AMR. He was married to Virginia. He worked that Gulfport fire, and I heard that story about you guys trying to get them out rather quickly.
You brought up that, it kind of brought back a memory. Let me tell you about the jail fire. I didn't realize you were there at that one too, Mike. I didn't realize how many calls we did together. And we kept trying to say, we need to go back them up. We need to take air bottles to them. My real purpose was the week before, my oldest brother had been in that jail. And he had issues with drugs and stuff. And the week before, he had called me from that jail. And all I could think of was, my brother's in there. And so we finally talked him into letting us go.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
And we responded over there, and we got, by the time we got there, most of the bodies had been brought out, and they were all lined up on the sidewalk under sheets. And I'll never forget walking down that sidewalk, pulling back sheets.
All right, let's see. let's see. I got Richard Chapman trying to come in here. Richard, let me see if I can't find a link for you. Come over here. Go to me. Go to view channel. Go to share. Copy link. And click that link. Sorry. So, who I've got coming in, I hope, is Richard Chapman. And Richard is the guy talking. This fire, I want to find out about this fire. I'm guessing y'all can see this that I'm doing. Biloxi jail fire. So I can tell you exactly when that happened. Fire, 10-minute fire killed 29. When 1982. Wait, no, that's different. Let me look at this. This was published in 83. In my special 3-inch slug polyurethane, yada yada. This is like a report about it from the, it's from the Department of Justice. And this was dated. This article came out in February of 1983. I'm surprised that an article from something like that didn't say on the night of, or, you know, what. Oh, here it is. November of 1982. This account was a fire at Harrison County Jail in November of 1982 was what they're talking about. All right. That's pretty neat. I can jump over and y'all can see me looking through this stuff. Let's see. So yeah, I ended up putting that, and then I did some other edits. One, I found some pretty cool outro stuff. My credits at the end. One, this is every episode. I'm telling people, hey, this is the email to email the show. And look, if you email that show and give us ideas, we will talk about those things on the show. Richard says he's in here watching. I guess, Richard, if you're subscribed to me, I think you have to be subscribed to me for 5 or 10 minutes before you can actually post in the chat. I've got a chat window over here on my machine that I'm looking at, and then I've got my phone over here on the corner. This is Mission Control. This thing is Mission Control. In fact, I'll send y'all a picture of what it looks like from my end and let y'all see what I'm looking at. Let's see. Yahtzee. There we go. I got a picture. I'll send it to you after I get off this thing when I get tired of talking. But one of the things when I'm doing the podcast, Richard, I try to step back and let y'all do the talking because y'all are the reason that I'm there. When I'm on here with a live, I don't have anybody I'm sounding off of. So this is like my third live. So this is a new format for me to get on here and try to do this stuff. And so generally what I do is I just go through and I look at videos, and I'm looking over here in the chat windows, and whenever anybody says something on here, I'll interact with the chat that's on this computer. I'll interact with people that talk, and that gives me more fuel to talk to. So anyway, let's get back. All right, folks. With that, so here's the end of the episode. Y'all have a great week. Look, if you want to email us any ideas for the show, you can email us. Point to it there, Scott. You can email us right here at getting@gmail.com. Give us any ideas you want to have on the show, and we'll talk about that. Man, I got to tell you, that's some awesome editing. Smash that like button and that subscribe button, and we hope to see you back here next week. All right, so...
Wait, do you think we should send him down the water slide?
So yeah, I come in here and I edit, and I'm throwing in music in the background. But I think this outro credits are some pretty cool looking, cinematic looking credits. So I don't know if Richard has completed watching the video. And all I did was I copped a couple seconds of it. So, and then if you'll notice, it's over here at the end. I just learned how to do this to make it come up and take you to a different episode of Getting 10-8. And if you aren't subscribed and you click over there, that takes you to the subscribe button. So that's pretty cool. I'm still learning stuff, y'all. I mean, for the longest time, all I did was sit in front of the camera and Ryan did everything, but now I'm having to pick stuff up. I'm having to learn how to do this. All right, cool. Richard is watching and listening. So, let's see. What do we want to look at now? We don't have to look at my channel stuff. Let's go back to Snakes Are Us. This is Jason Clark's channel, and we just watched about snake proofing a dog, or I grew up calling it snake proofing, when you put a shock collar on them and let them get by and smell snakes and get shocked anytime they got around a snake smell. Then they learn pretty quick to stay away from them. Let's see. Hellbenders, snake and a lawnmower. That looks interesting. Let's check this out.
I was hanging out with my daughter Audrey today, and we just happened to get a snake call. So, I'm like, hey, you with me? I'll let you handle this one. Good, good. Hey, little doggies.
Letting his daughter do it. That's awesome.
Guard dogs, so
They're well-fed guard dogs.
yes, they are. They're very well fed. Safe. We've been keeping them up here for the reason being.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it.
He's still right there. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's right there.
Oh, he's eating the egg.
Well, hang on. Let's not disturb him. Let's let him finish that one meal. And then we'll get him before he eats the other egg.
So you don't just come in blasting, you,
yeah.
Come in
Look at
blast.
this guy. So these are duck eggs?
Yes, sir. Yeah, she's been, so it's been kind of a weird little setup.
So now
They
you
got
see right
he's
here-
got a couple of eggs in him. Golf balls.
Sorry, Snake. Don't mean to scare you. Don't spit your egg out. I was just showing them these golf balls. We have other videos where we're removing golf balls from these rat snakes.
So they're rat snakes then?
Yeah, these are rat snakes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought. So, well,
Gray rat snakes are what we have over here in Mississippi.
we,
or in this area, typically.
So the golf balls, I know, kill them, they'll choke them out.
Yeah.
But we didn't throw them in there for that purpose.
That's to keep your
We
chickens
just
from
happened
brooding.
to come out one day and all of a sudden there's a nest with duck eggs all around.
Little snake. I know, he spit it out because I'm worried now. I'm just wondering if that. Okay, that egg that's right there in him, I'm able to crush it. Audrey, come in here and get the snake. So I crushed that egg because I was worried. Go ahead and grab him for me.
I was waiting for him to get away from the blade.
I was worried it might be a golf ball in him, but it's not. Because you can't crush a golf ball.
No, you can't.
When he was eating it.
Now this particular snake is a little upset, so I'll let Audrey catch this one today.
This
Let
is
me go
cool,
get you something to put 'em
Jason.
in.
Is he not
It's
going to
you.
strike you like that?
It's fine if he does.
Is it? Have you been bitten?
Yeah. It doesn't hurt that much.
Okay.
I mean, it might sting a little bit, but
He's chill. But
why do you like
all right,
like that?
the reason he is chill, I want you to pay attention to her hand. Is she grabbing that snake and trying to choke him out? Nope. She's just pretty much holding him with an open hand, so she's not threatening to him. And one of the things that he's doing, if you'll look, he's going up her arm, and people go, oh yeah, he's going up there so he can bite her in the head. No, he's not. He's going up there because snakes like the high ground. That's why he's heading up there.
well, I was born and raised around him, so.
All right, here we go. Got a container for you. So we'll just stick them right in there. Well, I was worried that big lump might have been a golf ball, so I kind of squeezed it a little bit and it easily broke. So it definitely wasn't a golf ball.
Right in front of the starter. Okay.
Oh yeah, I do see him.
Got another snake in the lawnmower. Another gray or
He's found him a good little high
Easter
place.
snake.
There, I want you to lift the hood up.
How?
Just pull that whole thing up. Gently, slowly.
He's right there. There is two.
There is two, yeah. There's one there and one here. All right.
Well, they got
Can you
plenty
get
of
out
rat
there? That's a
snakes.
fat one too.
Yeah.
They've been eating all your eggs.
Well, I mean, we don't get the eggs for any particular reason.
Yeah.
That might have been the one we saw the other
All right,
day.
go on and get him in the box there.
Oh, he's trying to strike. Trying his tail in there. Okay.
Good.
And then I need to see where his head is right there. Okay.
May have to pull him out or get him to.
Yeah, this is a pain
Tap
when
the
they
other
get
side
in
to get 'em
stuff
crawl
like
out.
this, because they will lock up like a possum's tail
Because
trying
they
to
can get
grab
up in
on
there
to
and hang
stuff.
on to stuff pretty good.
Yep.
Oh, he's crawling in it.
Yeah, when you get a snake like this, you have to just kind of get a grip on them and don't jerk them out of there, but keep some good pressure on them, and they'll kind of tire out and lose their grip, and then they just kind of slide out.
His head's over here.
Yeah, I see him.
There's his head.
Oh, you just went to that hole.
He's going all over.
Yeah, I got him.
Slow, gently. There we go. You got him. Perfect.
Good job.
Get that one in the box. Yeah, these are all 3 rat snakes. That's a lot of rat
Egg
snakes.
eaters. They got those
Cool.
ducks, and I bet they got chickens too.
There we go.
Awesome.
Needless to say, I'm terrified of her.
Well, most people are that we encounter, so
I was about to say,
make sure there's not a 4th one.
yeah, I lifted that up earlier, so.
So this is breeding season for rat snakes right now.
And
And,
that's why they're all together.
We see oh, look, there's the duck.
Yeah, that first one was irritated because she pecked at it a couple of times and he kept like moving on her and she'd walk away and then come back. I told her to leave it alone, she don't listen to me.
I don't know.
So people here.
Well, she's probably upset he got her
And every time I find
eggs.
them, I just toss them back up here and they land under the deck. And
Oh, yeah.
Years later, I just don't ever move them.
She's under there looking for her eggs now.
She seemed pretty distraught the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And that fat one, I think you grabbed out.
Yeah.
I think he had his fill a couple of days.
Yeah.
Can I grab the trailer and the wheelbarrow under there?
Yeah.
And
Just make sure there's not more.
she'll hiss at you. All right, trailer's empty, so that's good.
Well, he ain't gonna be in the bed of it.
Did you look? You hear it hissing at you?
Yeah.
Or hissing at us?
All right, cool. Well, I'm glad we were able to catch them for you. And you didn't even get bit. Did the musk on you?
Yeah.
They, oh yeah, rat snakes are notorious for musking. They will musk you up in a heartbeat. And hey, if this isn't a true redneck house, you know the Jeff Foxworthy says you are a redneck if you've got a working TV on top of your non-working TV. Where was that? I saw it. Let me get back here.
Yeah.
Or hissing at us.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Look.
Well, I'm
look
glad
here.
we were able to catch them for you.
So there's his non-working lawnmower. There's his working lawnmower. All right.
And you didn't even get bit. Did the musk on you?
Yeah.
They did. That's what she was complaining about on the way here, is that if these were going to be rat snakes, it's not that she gets bit. She didn't want the musk on her, because that stuff stinks so bad, and you got to scrub it to get it to come off.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Smell like a goat.
Well, that was a pretty easy snake call for me, because I didn't have to catch any snakes. Audrey did all the work here. And man, we were coming over here, and I told her we're going to get some snakes, and she's like, you know, I think she would rather catch a copperhead because she can just get a snake hook, pick it up. Well, with rat snakes, you know, especially them in the motor of the lawnmower, you kind of have to go hands-on.
That's the one that
and pull
muster,
them out
I
of there.
bet.
And when you start doing that with the rat snakes, they don't appreciate it. And so
Yeah, they will musk.
even if they don't bite you, they kind of spray out this musk, and it stinks. And so Audrey was already complaining.
All right.
I don't care if I get bit. I just don't want to get musked on. So, but the good part of that is I didn't get any musk on me. So now we have to go turn these rat snakes loose somewhere around here, but away from these houses. There's a lot of houses right here, kind of, you know, semi close together, so I don't want to just turn these snakes loose and become somebody else's problem. So we're not going to go too far away, but we're going to go far enough away to where they will not come back to these houses. That's the hope. All right, buckle up, let's go. All right, so we just found the place not too far away from where we caught them, but far enough away to hopefully they will not go back to that house or to the other houses that were near there. And I like this because right here is not only a lot of woods, but there's a brush pile right here. So this is going to be perfect to put a snake in. I guarantee there's already a snake in there somewhere. So Audrey, you caught them. You can turn them loose.
Okay.
And they will get right up in that brush pile. There we go.
Now they're all relaxed. They want to just sit there. They were trying to get out before. Oh, it's tangled in the box.
There they go. They are notorious home invaders. Most snake calls when I was doing Hub City Critter Getter, most times when I had folks saying they had a snake in their house, usually it was the gray rat snake. And I'd tell them, oh, I had one time, my daughter Rebecca and her mother had gone out of town to see my mother-in-law, and they had gone over there, and they left Ryan with me. So I had done the radio show because I had the radio show to do that morning. So I had done the radio show, and when I got done, I told Ryan, I said, hey man, I'll cook us some breakfast. So I go in there and I'm cooking, you know, breakfast, and he comes out from his room where he was in there playing a game or something, and when he goes to use the bathroom, he looks and there's a snake in the hallway. And he said, Dad, I think there's a snake in here. And I'm like, all right, yeah, he's going to pull a joke on me because when I'm doing the radio show, he knows he can't go in that studio. So he just quietly does his thing in his room. I said, now he's wanting to play. So he's got that stuffed snake that I've got him. I had him looked like a rattlesnake, but it was just a stuffed animal. And I said, he's going to have that plushie down on the floor. Well, I round over there and I go to see what's going on. Now, the light is not on in the hallway. The light's on in the bathroom, but it's not illuminating the whole hallway. And I look, and sure enough, there's a snake that is halfway in the hallway and halfway under the door to my daughter's bedroom. So, and at this time, I think she's 14 or 15, maybe. No, she's not that old. She might have been 12. Yeah, she must have been about 12 years old. Anyway, she, but I mean, imagine a 12-year-old girl's room. Because that snake turned around and went right back in the room. I don't know what kind of snake this is. I wasn't close enough to identify it. I just saw a snake go back in her room. I said, okay, let me go get my snake tongs in case it is venomous. And I walk in that room. Son, it looked like somebody threw a hand grenade in a chest of drawers. There was clothes all over the floor, clothes everywhere. So now I'm going, okay, now I've got to figure out where the snake is. That snake came back in this room. It could be in any pile of these clothes. So I'm picking up all these clothes with a snake tong and piling them up on top of the bed. But the whole time I'm doing it, I'm looking and I know where this snake is. I said, that snake is under that chest of drawers that's, not a foot from that door. When he came in, that's the closest spot he could do. He got up against that wall so he could get up, and he's under that chest of drawers. But I had to clear all the clothes out of the way so I could move the chest of drawers to get to it. Sure enough, I get there and it's a speckled king snake. So I reach down, I pick up this snake, and I said, well, son, I got the snake. And he's in his room. Okay. I said, you want to come see it? He said, no, I'm good. Take it outside. So I took the snake and I put it outside. And I told my daughter, I said, look, had a snake in your room. I said, do you know why that snake was in your room? Because he had lots of hiding places. You know why else that snake was in your room? Because you probably got mice in there, because I got all kind of food stuff out of your room. Are you supposed to be eating in your room? No, sir. All right. Don't eat in your room anymore. That draws mice. Mice draws snakes. She kept that room the cleanest she had ever had that room for, probably for a year or two. And then she slacked back off and got right back into that teenage mentality. All right. What do y'all want to look at now? Glenn, you have anything in particular? Or Shannon? I've got to watch that. Okay. Let's see. I know y'all were cooking dinner and eating dinner while y'all were watching this. Am I in here by myself now? I might be. That's the problem with these lives. You got to have some folks come in and sound some stuff off of you. Let's see. Let's go back to my channel. And see if there's anything in here that really sparks my interest. Okay. Now these are some hot snakes. So this is, let me come over here. I got a call to go get a snake off a parade field or exercise field at work, and what we do is we relocate them. So here is the video of me relocating. This is a juvenile eastern diamondback rattlesnake, but what's really cool is you can see how this camouflage pattern really works for these animals. So.
He's young, a year or two old snake. He's not very old.
Just chill.
He's not even
doesn't rattle.
He's not that worried about me at all, is he?
Oh, he ain't rattled the first time since he's been out here.
So what I've got there,
an eastern diamondback rattlesnake, and I'm going to relocate it. We aren't doing any taking in any specimens until we get our new biologist, but it's going to be over there by the south gate now.
all right, so that is a snake bucket. All it is, it's a 5-gallon bucket, and then you can get those those lids that we put on, and you drill holes in the bucket like you see here. I quit using this bucket because these, I don't like drilling holes in the bottom of the bucket. One, it's something rough that the snake can, it's you don't want to go across rough stuff when you're putting the bottom of it. But also, dang sure didn't put any holes in the top of the bucket, because when that bucket sits in your truck all the time, when it rains, it gathers in those lids, and if you've got holes in the lids, guess what? Your bucket starts filling up with water until you get to your bottom holes there. So, all right, let's see. There's the snake in the bucket, and then here's the release.
I caught this eastern diamondback rattlesnake.
Now that is not rattling that you're hearing. Those are cicadas. Those are cicadas.
It was on a parade field, so we needed to move it somewhere that is more conducive to the eastern diamondback and not around people. So what I'm going to do is pull him out. He's been pretty chill. He hadn't rattled or anything since I got him. There you go. Let's put him right there and see how he acts. What's he gonna do?
Now you see I put him on this clay so you can see him, but watch, as soon as he gets in that grass, how tough he is to find.
You found your spot to go. Look at how well that camouflage works for this animal.
All right. You see him, huh? There's his back right there. You see those diamonds in there? There's his head. That's his head. That's his eye. And then it's got a bend here, and he's coming around. There's that snake. But they blend in, buddy. They blend in.
You see him? Eastern diamondback. You see why that camouflage, how well that camouflage pattern works in his area? That's why I tried to put him where you could see on this red clay, longleaf pine, savanna looking ecosystem. That's this dude's home range.
So yeah, there you can see I highlighted it, or I tried to highlight it. All right. This is Jim Lee, God rest his soul, great herpetologist. He's going to tube this snake. So once he gets this snake far enough up in that tube, past that curve he's got there,
we'll get that S-bend gone. She has figured out the tube.
she's been in it already. She knows what it is. There you go. So once he gets that snake up in that tube, the snake can't get to him. And he's holding the snake with 2 fingers on the tube and 2 fingers on the snake. So he's controlling that snake can't come out on the other end. And then he can palpate that snake. He's checking to find out if she is gravid, if she has any baby snakes in her. Or food items. He knows she's a female.
No food items. No.
brings back some memories of my friend. Let's see, what else do we have in here? I don't know how to close out of this. Back up. There we go. Prescribed fire. You've heard me talk about using prescribed fire for the longleaf pine ecosystem. Oh, here I've got, why is this in outdoors? That needs to go. I need to move this to a different, I guess because it's, I don't know why Ryan stuck it in this playlist, but he did. Outdoors. Prescribed fire. This is a head fire. You'll see the wind pushing this.
So that's what we call a head fire. That's a fire with wind behind it, pushing it through the
those flames. Those flames are a little higher than we really want. You know, on a stand like this, you'd rather kind of a slow creep, but this is effective. It's running through. It goes around, burns around the trees. Then we have to end up coming back and putting out any cat faces that might be on the trees. But the longleaf pine ecosystem, that longleaf pine really is fire resilient. That bark is so thick on there. That's not going to kill these trees when you run fire through the grasses underneath. And what you're really doing is you're helping control stuff that can end up being mid-story undergrowth. If you run fire through it every couple of years, you're keeping that stuff trained down to where you're going to end up with these grasses. It looks like the field that you're looking at before you get to the fence is supposed to look like that all the way through and with trees in it. So that's why we use prescribed fire to manage the landscape here. All right, I've been on here for an hour. Y'all aren't doing much in the chat window. So, and I'm getting kind of tired. I need to hit this inhaler. I've been needing to cough for a few minutes, and I'm trying not to do that on the show. So I'm going to call this live over and call this the third run that I've done at it. And I'll do a little better about setting, you know, giving more than just 30 minutes notice that I'm going live like I did tonight. I'll have to just one day go, hey, I'll let y'all know I'm going to go live, you know, tonight. And I'll do that, let y'all know in the morning. So other than that, I'm going to call it a night. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for coming along. Richard, always a pleasure to have you looking at this. Go check out the episodes. Send me a text. Let me know what you think about the episode after you watch full episode. Glenn, yes, go watch that episode. You said you wanted to watch it, and I just showed you a snippet of it. Look, I tell you what, Scotty was there, but, you know, Richard and Mike stole the show. I guarantee you. You know, anytime you got two living legends on there, you know, they're going to steal the show. So y'all take care, and we will see you the next time I go live. Other than that, y'all can see some of my recorded stuff. Y'all take care. Have a great night.